So very carefully, so that we don't burn anything, let's try and put this circuit together. Alright, let's start maybe with the diode. Just notice the strip that indicates their polarity. So I'm going to plug that, let's say, around here. Then with a transistor, just look at the schematic and I see that I want the base to be controlled by pin number 13 on the Arduino, and then from that there's going to be a current limiting resistor connected to it. So I want the collector, which is this pin here, to be connected on this side of the diode. So I'm going to plug it in. Actually, I plug it in here, so there is a bit of clearance, and then I'm going to use jumper wires to get this together. I'm going to use current limiting resistor in the base of the transistor, like that. Okay. Then the emitter will be grounded, so I'm going to take the ground wire and connect it to the emitter. It's grounded, and I'll use a red wire to connect the collector on this side of the diode. Alright, then I'll use my crocodile clips to connect the coil to the diode. So here's one side of the coil. And I'll use black for the other side. And here's the other side of the coil. Okay. Next up, I'll plug in power, 12 volts. So I've done the ground. So now for the 12 volt positive, it's going to go on the side of the diode that has the little strip. So I'm going to plug that in here. Okay. Next thing to do is to connect power from the Arduino to the base of the transistor. So I want the two parts of the circuit to be grounded together, otherwise they'll be completely separate and there's not going to be any communication. So here's the ground. I'm going to plug that here in the emitter. And use orange for the base. So from pin 13 to the other pin of the resistor, and there you go. So the coil is energized. You can see that there is the LED on the Arduino is blinking nice and bright, so there is no issue with too much current being drawn. Just to show you the difference, if I take pin 13 and I connect it directly into the base of the transistor, look what happens. Okay, the coil is still working, but I'm drawing so much power from the Arduino that the LED is not lighting up at all. Okay, so that is not what you want to do. It means that you are stressing your Arduino too much. So I'm going to connect it again to the base via the current limiting transistor. So I'm done with that part. All that remains now is to connect my LED strip to the relay. So here's the LED strip. Now I'll use some crocodile clips again. Let's unplug. I don't care too much about the colors right now. I just want to make this thing light up. So to make this a bit more convenient, I'm going to use 2 additional wires and plug them into the breadboard, so then I can grab power from them. So here's for ground, and here is for the 12 volts. It is a bit crowded. Okay. So let's try this out. I'm going to connect actually the yellow crocodile clip to ground, and the other one to one of the secondary pins. And then let's see, make contact with the other side. There you go. With the other side, with the second pin on the relay. And I can see that I can drive a 12 volt load using a 12 volt relay using a 5 volt signal from the Arduino. I can make this a bit more permanent again using alligator clips until I decide to make it permanent using a PCB. Again, carefully because it's a bit crowded. Okay. And that's all there is to it. Of course, you could also choose to connect your LED strip to the second pin like that, or just switch the opposite way. Or if you wanted to create an alternating blinking strip lighting up, what you can do is you can get a second strip and connect it to the third pin of the third free pin of your relay. So let's see, yellow goes to ground, so the white should also go to ground. My apologies for the mess. There you go. Now you have two alternating LED strips using a single relay.